Alrighty. Evening. Super Rugby final. I don't think there's been any late changes this time. Nobody's pulling a fast one. There's no Crotty suddenly back from a broken finger. So, yeah, it seems like pretty stable, pretty much as they listed the teams. I'd be surprised how many times I do the previews and they switch the teams up. Evening. Watching the final two. Nice one, man. Connor, I feel like you're a Hurricanes fan, right? Hey, guys. Morning in South Africa. Yes, it is probably morning, isn't it? What time is it over there? It's a reasonable hour, right? $4:30 in Argentina. Okay, that's commitment to get up and watch the game at 4:30 in the morning. But I guess how often do you make a final, right? I remember doing the same thing when I was a kid to watch All Blacks games. Still do it now when they're in South Africa. Whoa. No, Google. You do not need to search anything for me. Thank you. Drinking the Imperial beer. Nice one, man. I looked. I wasn't able to get my hands on any. A couple of people offered to send me some, but I figured the shipping price. I remember when I got my Jaguares jersey sent to New Zealand, the shipping was pretty much the same price as the jersey, so I didn't end up getting any. But I will keep looking. I'll have to see if I can get some. There was never going to be any time to get the Imperial beer here within a week, but yep. I have got some other beers ready just in case. So, yeah. Thomas says, Vamos Jaguares, and then that word which I know what it means now. Yeah, man. It seems like there's a lot of neutrals going for the Jaguares, to be fair. It seems to be the way it is. Tanner says, how are you? I am well, man. I'm pretty pumped for the final. Should be a really good game. I heard yesterday there were like 300 seats still available. When I looked online, not that I'm in Christchurch, I saw that they were like $130+ ones, so I guess not the cheap ones. So, yeah, hopefully they've sold it out. Watching in the US, it's 3:30 in the morning. If there's one game you're going to get up for at 3:30 in the morning, it might as well be the final, right? The Crusaders guys are just running out on the field. The crowd looks pretty good from that camera angle. Lots of fans, lots of flags, lots of noise. Probably not as loud as if it was in Buenos Aires, but still pretty loud. That's good. What happened to the Valima beer from last time, the Samoan beer? I've switched this week. I've got two beers to choose from. I picked a red one and I picked a kind of orangey yellow one. So I figure if the Crusaders are in front at halftime, I'll go the red one. And if the Jaguares are in front at halftime, I'll go the other one. One's from the Philippines and one's from Scotland. The red one is stronger. So we'll see how that goes. Couldn't find the Imperial, unfortunately. Who do I think is going to win this? I mean, when was the last time the Crusaders lost a game at home? I think it's like 30 games, so they're definitely the favorites. I feel like the Jaguares will have to put in a very, very precise performance to be able to get a win. You basically have to go to Christchurch, be on your top game, make very few errors, and then kind of hope the Crusaders make some mistakes. So it doesn't happen a lot. But, I mean, as I said in my preview, this is almost the All Blacks against the Pumas. So, man, you never know. It could be an interesting one. Show the game every week. Show the game. No, I can't show the game. I'm not going to be able to show the game, unfortunately. It's Sky's game. They are the only ones with the rights to show it. Checking in from Hawaii. What time is it in Hawaii? Half past 8 in the morning in sunny Wales. Looking forward to the final. Yes, it was a beautiful day here as well. So I'm not sure what it was like in Christchurch. I think they mentioned it being a bit overcast, but not raining. So I can't see any rain. The ref is on the telly at the moment. Let's hope he has a very minimal part to play in this game. I do not like games where I end up talking about the ref at the end. So let's hope it's clean. No red cards, hopefully no yellow cards, minimal penalties, a few tries, some big hits. That would all be pretty good. 9:30 p.m. on Friday. Okay, so not too bad, a pretty reasonable time. Kickoff. Here we go, guys. Super Rugby Final 2019. Who do you have winning this one? A lot of guys in the preview said they're back in the Jaguares. A lot. Whoa, the Crusaders immediately turned it over. But I think they knocked it on, so it's going to be a Higueras scrum in their own 22 within the first 30 seconds. How is their scrum going to hold up? That's a pretty big question. If the Crusaders beat the Jaguares, I'll send you a crate of beer. What kind of beer? What kind of beer? Michael Barnett, who has been around this channel for a long time, says, well, this is new. Yes, Michael. This is like my 4th or 5th one, I think. Live stream. Oh, it's the Crusaders feed. Why did I think it was the Jaguares feed? Jaguares scrum is holding up just. I thought the ref told them to use it, and they've had to use it. Oh, man, the Crusaders are on the attack early. Reese was going down the wing, and they've knocked it on. Was that Mo'unga that knocked it on? Hall to Reese. Reese down the wing. He offloaded to Mo'unga, and yep, they knocked it on in the tackle. Okay, no score yet. No score yet. Jaguares fans in Christchurch looking absolutely pumped. Yes, I do remember that from, it wasn't Argentinian fans. I think it was French fans at the Rugby World Cup when I was here in 2011. Like there was one section of the stand which was just kind of bouncing up and down with fans. Like it seems like a lot of other countries get a fair bit more passion in their support for their teams than us Kiwis. And I'm the same, to be fair. I just kind of sit on my butt and clap and shout. Don't sing or dance. Right. 2 minutes and 2 scrums. This time it's the Jaguares feed. Can they hold on their own feed? They need to show the ref something, because if they're going to get penalized all day, it could be a pretty long evening. So far, so good. And they got the ball out. So good stuff from that Jaguares 4-pack. That was the main area that I was questioning before the game. So far, so good. And they've exited, but not out. Crusaders are going to run it at them. Isaiah says, I love you. Well, my wife is not here, so I will say I love you too. She's in the other room, putting the little one to bed. It's a bit messy from the Crusaders. They are still on attack. Did I just hear the ref say advantage? Oh, it was just knock on advantage. So advantage is over. I can hear the little one crying. She doesn't want to go to sleep. She wants to be up watching the final, and I do not blame her. Oh, man, it is messy from both sides early. 7 phases, Crusaders knock it on. It's going to be another scrum. So we're going to be 4 minutes in, and it's going to be the 3rd scrum. Fighter Biter says, yeah, watching the final with you, my bro. Hell yeah, man. It's gonna be an interesting watch. It's already, well, it's not a classic yet. There's been a few knock-ons. 3 scrums and gonna be 5 minutes is not the best, but hey, it's both teams feeling each other out, I guess. Driving Mall. Hey, man. Hey, Paul. Evening. Got to sort out these knock-ons. Yeah, man. It's not a classic start, is it? It's kind of a bit, maybe a bit of rust, maybe a bit of nerves. We will see. But, yeah. Forcing some errors, I guess. What's the time? It's just on 5 minutes in the game, and they're just packing down the 3rd scrum of the game. They're still in the Jaguares half, which is where the action has been since kickoff. We'll see. I mean, this is kind of what happened with the Hurricanes last week. They were trapped in their own half for about the first half an hour. Somebody should have a strong word with the Crusaders 12 about his haircut. Yeah, that's good, Hugh. He loves his mullet. Loves it. I don't think he would cut it for anybody. And we get a reset scrum. Yeah, definitely not a classic as yet. Yes. Resets. Right. They're going to try and do the scrum again. This time the ball goes in. The Higueras just got it out. It was under a bit of pressure there. Crusaders guys already trying to do the whole choke tackle, but it didn't happen. Jaguares just need to get out of their half, but then the Hurricanes tried kicking it back to the Crusaders last week, and it did not get much pay. So they've just given the ball back to the Crusaders, and we are on halfway after 6.5 minutes. Crusaders kick it back to the Jaguares 22, and they're going to kick it back to the Crusaders. It's going to be a line out. Remember, the Higueras are the team with the most kick meters in Super Rugby, so they are not afraid to kick the ball. It's kind of what they do. And Guido Petty is the number 1 guy for line-out steals. But whoa, the Crusaders just threw that ball way long. It went totally over the whole line-out. And it just went to an oncoming Crusaders player, set play. They don't want to get Guido Petty anywhere near the ball. Fair enough. I am up to 7 minutes and 20 seconds. I know some of the guys who are like in Asia watching on Rugby Pass, the stream's a few minutes behind, so it's kind of hard to watch me because I end up spoiling all the stuff because it's like a few minutes difference. Four seconds. Okay, yeah, 4 seconds is not too bad. You must be watching on Sky as well, Michael. Territory right now, 96% to the Crusaders, 4% to the Jaguares. Yep, it's been all in the Jaguares half. We're having another scrum, in case you're not actually watching. It's 8 minutes. I'm already losing count of the scrums. I think this is scrum number 4. If you include the reset, scrum number 5. It's another Jaguares feed, so it's the Crusaders who keep knocking the ball on. They got the ball out quickly that time again, and they have hoofed it back into the Crusaders half. But Bridge is back to get it. Now they're going to run it back at the Jaguares. We'll see if they can get back into the Jaguares half straight away. Not yet. Still the Crusaders. Oh, there they go. They're into the Jaguares half. As an ex-prop, you can't have too many scrums. I don't know how many others would agree with that, but yep, fair call. Oh. The Jaguares finally got a chance to attack the Crusaders, kicked it, and Benicia just kicked it about a meter too long. So the Crusaders have touched it down in their own end goal, and it's going to be a 22 dropout. Go Crusaders, all New Zealanders behind you. I'm not sure that's entirely true. We should be. That should be the way you look at things, right? You should back your own nation's teams, but I don't know. Something about the idea of the Higueras getting their first ever title, it appeals. But I mean, I'm ultimately a neutral on this one. I think we get to have another scrum. Havili knocked it on when trying to collect the high ball. Is anyone keeping count of these scrums? Is this 6 or 5? Might have come off his leg anyway. Just finished work. The score is still 0-0. You've missed at least 5 or 6 scrums. And that's about it. The Higueras scrum has been under a bit of pressure, but has not been penalised as yet. Don't be a neutral. Support the Kiwis. As a Blues man, it's hard to support the Crusaders when they always beat the Blues. They are traditional rivals, and they always win. I'm always been a kind of go for the underdog guy, except with the All Blacks when I have to go for the All Blacks. But I always go for the underdog, and the Crusaders are virtually never the underdog. They're just such a consistent team, man. They're amazing. Everyone should be doing what they do. It's about scrums, but the knock-on count is huge. Yeah. All these scrums are coming about because of knock-ons. So it's not raining. I don't know what's going on. As I said before, maybe a bit of nerves. Maybe there's a bit of dew on the ball. Don't know. But it's not a classic so far unless you're a former prop and like watching scrums. Or maybe it's a strategy by the Crusaders to deliberately knock the ball on and hope to win scrum penalties. If that's the case, they're not getting the penalties because the Jaguares are holding them out. Guess what? Guess what just happened? There's another knock on. Wow. You like to think that the final is going to be like the ultimate ad for the game, and it's only been 12 minutes. But this is a lot of handling errors. I mean, that one was in the tackle, but still. Wow. Tanner asks, are you happy with the All Blacks team selection? I mean, there's a few, like Havili probably is pretty unlucky. Squire was pretty bold to decline an All Blacks jersey. It's pretty rare. Some would say that Sonny Bill should have declined his jersey based on the fact that he hasn't played much. Like Squire was basically, I haven't played, so I'm not ready. Sonny Bill hasn't played, and he's like, I am ready. But maybe he is ready. Sonny Bill's an amazing athlete, so he could just put in top-level performances. Like some guys do that. Kieran Reid came back after he had a long injury layoff and just hit the ground running. But I mean, Sonny Bill's apparently pulled up an injury like in training, so I don't know. It's pretty tough when he keeps getting injured. Yeah, another scrum, maybe a record. For 13 minutes, we must be at scrum number 7 or so far. So, yeah, a scrum every 2 minutes, seeing as it takes about a minute to set the damn things. Whoa, okay, the Jaguares are actually attacking. They had a wee bit of a line break there. They're inside the Crusaders 22. I think they might have advantage as well. Yep. The Jaguares have definitely got advantage, and they're inside the Crusaders 22. They've just been called back for the advantage. I think he might have been in touch. The penalty is just outside the 22 and a few meters to the right. So we'll see if they take the 3. They'll take the points. I would imagine so. In a final, you probably have to take the points, right? Benicia kicks at pretty much 3 out of 4, and this is a kick that he would probably get. But you never know in a final. Pressure's on. Pressure kick. Benicia is lining it up. 15 minutes on the clock. The commentators have just said there's no wind at the ground. It's the kind of kick that in training you would pretty much kick every time. But when there's thousands of people watching you and a title on the line, it can be one that you shank. We'll see how he goes. He's kicked it. He has kicked that one. Jaguares take the lead. 3 points still after 15 minutes. I've always kind of thought if the Higueras were going to win this one, they probably need to go out in front and then hold the Crusaders off. But, I mean, 3 points is not exactly a huge lead, but that's a start. Ma'anonu to the All Blacks. I guess he can feel unlucky if Sonny Bill gets chosen and not him. But then again, if Sonny Bill's injured, maybe they go with Nonu. I don't think they'll pick Nonu. I've said that since he decided to come back to the Blues. I didn't think he would get chosen. I don't think they will choose him. But, I mean, stranger things have happened, but I can't see them going with him. Crusaders have got the ball in the Jaguares half, but they're not far past the halfway line. 6 phases. Jaguares' defense so far is pretty good, and they've just made the Crusaders knock it on again. That defense is up very quickly, and they're making life very uncomfortable for the Crusaders. Yeah, the Jaguares need to keep this up for 80 minutes. 70 won't do. It's got to be 80. Another scrum. Yes, Federico, it's another scrum. Handling errors so far. 6 to the Crusaders, 1 to the Jaguares. I guess it's no surprise that the Higueras are up in front with that kind of stat, but their scrum needs to keep doing the job. Their defense needs to keep doing the job. Their goal kicker needs to keep doing the job. There's a lot of things that need to go right because the Crusaders, they're such a good team, man. Nice cap, big Ireland fan, also Argentina, and first of all, the All Blacks. Yeah. I haven't had that many times to wear the kind of Connacht gear, so I've been wearing the Connacht gear around town today. So that's about as neutral as it gets in a Super Rugby game. I'm wearing Pro 14 gear. Where is my Jaguares hat? I decided to go neutral for the game. Despite the fact that I said in my preview, my heart would like to see the Jaguares win, but my head thinks the Crusaders will get it done. So I've already kind of put myself out there. But, yeah, I at least want to appear neutral. Chiefs all the way. Yeah, I'm like that with the Blues. Whoa, did the Jaguares just win a scrum penalty? Wow. Okay. The Jaguares just won a scrum penalty. Man, okay. So the Higueras have just kicked the ball from the penalty long into the Crusaders 22. They will have an attacking lineout against the Crusaders in the Crusaders 22. So man, game on. Game on. Is this rugby or scrumby? So far, it's more of the latter. Ooh, the Jaguares won their lineup, but it was messy, but they've still got it. Now they're outside the Crusaders 22, but they still have the ball. And they've already chipped it through, but Bryn Hall got it and marked it, and now he has kicked it long. So interesting, the Jaguares, after only like 3 phases, went for the chip kick. I thought they might have hung on to it a bit more, but straight for the chip. The Jaguares would have won if the game was 20 minutes long. What kind of sports are 20 minutes long? I'm thinking, but I can't think of many. Maybe like boxing if it only goes a few rounds. Ooh, the Jaguares on their own throw have messed it up. And now it's the Crusaders on the attack outside the Jaguares 22. This is the kind of thing, like, across the whole game, you can only be doing that once or twice, and the Crusaders will just punish you. So it'll be interesting to see if the Crusaders score here directly from a Jaguares error. But nope, they have chipped it through, and the Jaguares have collected it. So they will need to exit. I'll have to look at the territory stats soon, but I feel like most of the game has been played in the Crusaders, well, in the Jaguares half. Cabelli's going to box kick. He's done it. This time he found touch. Water polo is 20 minutes? Crusaders are definitely trying to play this game at pace. They are not messing around at line-out time. They are getting the ball straight in. And I guess part of that goes down to the fact that, as I said in the preview, the Crusaders line-out is okay. It's like the 8th ranked one in Super Rugby. So it's not bad. It's not great. They've also got Dunshea in because Scott Barrett's injured. So their line-out's probably not as slick as it could be. And the Jaguares are one of the top teams for line-out steals. So they are not giving the Jaguares a chance to set their line-out at all for defensive, reads. Sevens rugby is less than 20 minutes. Yeah, that's true, actually. I don't watch anywhere near as much sevens as I should. It's hard to keep up, to be fair, but it is a very entertaining game to watch. Handling errors. Oh, God, like me with my first girlfriend. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. That happens. I probably shouldn't have read that one out, should I? I need a moderator. I need to moderate my own comments. Juarez may be ahead on the board, and their defense is doing a very good job of keeping the Crusaders under a lot of pressure. But they're definitely playing the game in the wrong half of the field. They kick to exit. Reese takes it, and now it's the Crusaders' turn to run back at them again. Will we see a knock-on? That's the question. 22 minutes, 23 minutes now, 3 points, 1 penalty, ton of scrums. It's not the best ad for Super Rugby as yet, but it's still got time. Oh, man, the Crusaders regathered that ball. They're in the Jaguares 22 now, and they spilled it. Wow. Scott Robertson must be pulling his hair out at the moment. This is messy. If you're not watching the game, you haven't missed a classic so far. But it's close, and it's tense. It's just neither of these teams is. Oh, the Higueras have just stolen the Crusaders line-out ball, and that's one line-out where the Crusaders faffed about getting it ready, and the Higueras took it. So that's why they were going quick earlier, not waiting around to let the Higueras set. So it's a missed opportunity for the Crusaders. But of course, the Jaguares just cleared and they've got the ball back. So Crusaders get to go again. Very similar to last week. Crusaders too clumsy. Yeah, man. Right now, they are not playing like a championship team. But it's only 24 minutes. The Crusaders only need like 10 to beat you. Sam Whitelock somehow got the ball there and is running down the wing. He passed it to Cody Taylor, who has probably just scored a try. Man, that came out of nowhere. And that's what Justin Marshall just said. That's great. Finally, the Crusaders on a return from a kick. Benicia caught the ball. They held him up. It became a maul. The ball spilled out. Reed got it to Whitelock. Runs down the wing. He gets tackled, but not before he passes to Taylor. Taylor's not held, and the tackle goes over to score. Crusaders are in front. That one came out of nothing, man. Came out of nothing. And that was Taylor. Will Jordan is happy on the sidelines. What was that, like 24 minutes? Moong has got a, I guess, medium difficulty conversion. Here he goes. He has put that pretty much down the middle. 7-3. Crusaders doing what they do, man. You only need to give them half a chance, and they will score. You're a Blues fan. Yes, I am a Blues fan. Hence the stuff in the background, I guess. Right now, the Crusaders look no better than the Reds. The Reds didn't have the best season. Man, neither team really wants to have a go at the moment. They're still playing very carefully, kicking it back to each other. Benicia has just kicked it pretty much on halfway, so we're going to have a line out on halfway. It's almost 28 minutes gone in the first half. 7-3 Crusaders. Ren says, who needs backs when forwards have the X factor to score a try from anywhere? Yes. And that's what the Crusaders can do, score from anywhere. The Crusaders just had a line out. I thought it wasn't straight. The ref didn't have a problem with it, but he has penalized the Crusaders for something else. I actually missed what it was. That was clearly not straight. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was well down the Crusaders' side, but oh well. The Jaguares got the penalty anyway. The penalty count so far on the screen is 3 to the Crusaders. The Higueras have not been penalized yet. So the Jaguares have a line out in the Crusaders' half. Inside their 22 even, to be fair. This is important for them with 10 minutes to go in the first half. They've won the line out and they're going to try and maul it against the Crusaders. The Lions tried that last year in the final and it went nowhere. Yep, it's going nowhere, so they pass it. Orlando is a slippery customer. Jaguares are just trucking it up through the forwards at the moment. This game is boring Jay to tears. It hasn't been a classic yet. This is fair. But there's still a long way to go. I can hear in the other room my daughter, who's 1 year old, still has not slept, so she must be enjoying it. I'm noticing the Crusaders are really trying to, that's 8 phases, to hold the Jaguares players up in the tackle, and that's the second time they've got a maul out of it and then killed the ball off. So it's now Crusaders scrum. So yeah, good defense from the Crusaders. Pity for the Jaguares. They could have used the score there, but they're still in the Crusaders half. So we'll see. 30 minutes gone. My daughter has X-ray vision to see the game in her sleep. She is not asleep. I can hear her. She is very loud. Looks like Lavanini is on the ground getting some treatment, so hopefully he's okay. Who am I rooting for? It may be a bit traitorous to say so as a New Zealander, but I would like to see the Jaguares get a win. Just because they've never done it before, man. I always, generally, back a team who's like the underdog to get their first win. The Crusaders have had plenty of titles, so it wouldn't be a disaster if they lost. I've actually seen quite a few Crusaders fans saying, of course they want to win, but if the Jaguares won, they wouldn't be like devastated kind of thing, which is pretty cool. I think a lot of people respect what the Jaguares have done this season. Okay, Crusaders just got their first scrum penalty, which could be ominous. That was pretty deliberate. They left that ball in there for a long time. Solid scrum for the Crusaders. Yep. The Higueras scrum has done well so far, but as the game goes on, it will get tougher and tougher. It'll be especially hard if the ref seems to think they're dominant, and he'll just keep giving penalties. But in saying that, the Crusaders, with their penalty kick for touch, they didn't win their own line out. So the Jaguares have got the ball. And they kick it up high into the Crusaders' half. Surely the Crusaders player was offside there. That seemed like a bit of a miss because Reese bobbled it forward and Enor was standing in front of him and he caught it. If that's not offside, I don't know what is, but okay. Jaguares are going to get a scrum, if nothing else. Lucas says he's supporting the Crusaders from Auckland. Yep, I can understand that. Kiwi loyalty makes sense. And somebody else says underdog mentality, respect to them cats. Yep, so you can look at it both ways. Go for the underdog, go for the favorite, go for the Kiwis, depending on what your loyalties are. So, yeah. I just want the underdogs to win, says Harold. Yeah, man, that's pretty much the way I support teams as well. It's always nice to see the underdog get a win. Although that doesn't really work very well as an All Blacks fan because they're pretty much never the underdog. Although tell that to Ireland if they play Ireland at the World Cup. Because Ireland's got a pretty good record over them recently. Jaguares are determined to kick it at the Crusaders, which kind of makes sense. That's their game plan throughout the year. But Benicia is not quite kicking as accurately as he did last week. Oh, and the Crusaders have knocked it on again. Don't know what those guys had for dinner, but it must have been greasy because they are dropping all kinds of ball. All kinds of ball. Francisco says, excited to see Gatland in charge. Yeah, man. That's going to be an awesome one for the Chiefs next year. Man, handling errors is 9-2. Crusaders have knocked the ball on 9 times. That's pretty bad for a final. How long left in the game? It's 35 minutes in the first half, so we've got 5 minutes left and then the second 40. Jaguares scrum held that time, which is good news for them. They're on the attack just outside the Crusaders 22. I would say the Jaguares need some points. They almost lost the ball there right then. I mean, if they go down if they go into the break 4 points down, that's not the end of the world, but they would definitely like to be in front or even 1 point behind. Oh, a bad pass. And the Higueras have knocked it on. Crusaders get to exit. And they're doing it with a cross kick to Reese, but it's to Mojano, and that's not a guy you want to kick the ball to. He is dangerous. So, okay. As you were, the Jaguares get to go back on the attack just outside the Crusaders 22. In Ireland here, you're about 20 seconds ahead of my TV. Okay, I will try not to say anything instantly. I'll try to give myself a bit of a delay when things happen. It might be hard, though, to control the reactions on my face. I guess that's just because the broadcast time to the other side of the world. 7 phases for the Jaguares. I'm definitely controlling my face here because the Jaguares just had a try for all money and they blew it. I think it was Moroni knocked it on. There was an offload from Matera. They go down the right wing. Moroni tries to step. I think it was Havili. And as he's reaching out to go for the line, Bryn Hall jumps on his back and he spills the ball forward. They will not get many closer chances than that. Those are the things you have to take when you are in Christchurch. Man, that was... How many minutes is that? Like 36? Already not gone. If it's close, they might look back at that as a lost opportunity. Watching the game in Japan. Yeah, man. People in Ireland, people in Japan. Lots of people in Argentina, I'm guessing, because there's a ton of Spanish in the comments, which I cannot read. Maroney lost the ball almost over the line. Yeah, man, it was pretty close. That offload from Matera was a thing of beauty. Deserved the try. I don't know, man. Should he have passed? Should he have stepped a bit harder? Either way, it was a chance. It was a chance. Someone's in Switzerland. Nice. From Mars. Jaguares scrum is held up again, so they're doing pretty well, actually. They've only conceded one scrum penalty the whole game, which is 37 minutes, and they even won one off the Crusaders, so it's one each at scrum time. And the Crusaders' exit there was not great. They're going to be just on their own 22, so Jaguares are doing all right for this tight game. Watching in the USA, watching in England, Ireland, Wales, Switzerland, Argentina, I'm sure some New Zealand as well. Oh, the Higueras have just knocked it on. What is the handling error count? This is amazing. If you were only to watch one Super Rugby game this year, this was it. You wouldn't think that much of the quality. I mean, it's still tense. I like the fact that it's only 4 points in it, but damn, there's a lot of knock-ons. Venezuela, man, South Africa. How can I forget South Africa? Have a beer. Yeah, Jamie, I've got the 2 beers ready to go. I think I'm going to be having the red one at this rate because the Crusaders look like they will go in Italy. Wow. It looks like the Crusaders are going to go in front. The red one is 8%. The other one is only 5%. So, yeah. Do I want the Jaguares to win? Yeah, probably, man, because, again, they're the underdogs. And it would, you know, that time when a team wins their first title, there's nothing quite like that. I mean, I know the 10th title is still pretty cool for the Crusaders, but there's nothing like getting that first title. It's the one that all the fans remember. You finally got there. I mean, you look at like Lions and Sharks fans. They've been so close multiple times and never quite got it done. I didn't manage to get my hands on the Imperial beer. Not yet. I had a look in the comments. Some people were saying Imperial is the same as, is it Quilmes? It's like Quilmes. And some people were saying, no, they're not the same anymore. So I'm still looking. The halftime hooter is gone, and the Crusaders are running it out from their own 22, and they're making lots of ground. They're like at the 10-meter line in the Jaguares half. So they've gone 50 meters up the field. Whoa, Todd just got a big hit on him. Hope there were some arms in that tackle. If the Crusaders can score here, then the Jaguares will have a massive job in front of them for the second half. 4 points is definitely doable. Keep it within one score. And the Crusaders have just won a penalty. straight out in front. Must be like 35 meters. Will I be covering the World Cup like Super Rugby? Yeah, man, I'm definitely going to be covering the World Cup. I've even got 3 weeks annually from my job for the pool stages, so I should be able to pretty much watch every game of the pool stages, which is going to be crazy. Because I mean, when Russia is playing, to be fair, I do know very little about Russian rugby, but hey, it'll be a learning experience for me as well, so it'll be cool. Richie is lining up this goal kick on halftime for a penalty. Rugby Dad is just checking in at halftime. It has been messy, Rugby Dad. It has been very messy. And Mo'unga has kicked the penalty right at the end. 10 points to 3. So it's still only one. What did I say? Crusaders up, Red Bear. It's only one score for the Jaguares to get, even. But I was kind of hoping the Higueras go in front at halftime and then the Crusaders have to chase the game, and then it would be. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Crusaders run away with it in the second half. The travel factor, I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. I've never tried this beer before. Red Horse, extra strong brew from the Philippines. San Miguel. 8%. Should be fun. Yes. Francisco says, cheers. Cheers, guys. Hope you're enjoying the game, even though there's been a ton of scrums. Actually, we should look at the stats. What are the stats for this game? ESPN is still not. Oh, there it is. Let's go over these stats at halftime. So, halftime, Crusaders, possession 44%, Jaguares 56%, territory, Crusaders 45%, Jaguares 55%. Handling errors is 9-6. That's incredible. A lot of knock-ons. Run meters 190 to the Crusaders, 156 to the Jaguares. Not a whole lot in that. Tackling percentage, Crusaders 76%, Jaguares 91%. 91's pretty good. It was just that one lapse that let them down. Crusaders lineout is at 50%, which is only 2 from 4. Jaguares are higher than that. Penalties conceded 3-2, so pretty even. Not a whole lot in it, to be fair. Wilson says, who's better at kicking in Tula? Richie Mo'unga, Bowden Barrett, or Lima Sapuanga? I'm not sure what Richie's stats are like for the All Blacks, but this year Bowden's actually had a higher kicking stat than Richie, but Richie had a real poor start to the season. With his goal kicking anyway. Yeah, D says, big miss by the Jaguares winger. If they score that try, then they go into halftime in a very different position than they do now. So they're 7 points behind, which is really not ideal. Ultimate Sharpshooter, who has been with the channel also for a very long time. Game could go anywhere. Yeah. If I was leaning one way, I would say it's probably the Crusaders who pull away with it rather than the Jaguares who catch them up, because that's generally the way things go. But, I mean, hey, I'm open to anything. We'll see what happens. Federico says Higueras must feel better in the second half with less worries. Yeah, they can go out and play. They're still within touching distance, so they know they're still within the game. Like some teams, you go to Christchurch and by halftime you're out of it. So the Jaguares are definitely not out of it. They've still got everything to play for. Jaguares didn't take advantage of the Crusaders' bad first half. That's a very good point, because how often is the Crusaders going to have a 50% line-out stat, 76% tackling, which is pretty low for them, less territory, less position? You got to think in the second half their line-out, their tackling is all going to be better. So, yeah, that could make it pretty tough. 8% beer, yes. The Red Horse is an 8% beer. So we'll see how that goes. Stephen asks, are there more season reviews coming up? Yep, I should be able to get through all the teams. So I'm starting from the bottom and working my way up, basically. The Blues are next, and I'm never sure with the Blues whether to go full rant. Last year, I kind of controlled myself from going full rant because, I try to keep it PG on or at least, safe for children to watch on the channel. I try not to swear and whatnot. So, yeah. Beer Army is on you again. Yep. No, that's fine. Have a beer during the game. It's pretty normal. So, is your wife bringing the pizza? No, but funnily enough, she actually used to work part-time at a pizza shop. And every day after she would finish work at the pizza shop, she would bring home a pizza. So I got pretty sick of pizza pretty quickly. Imbiber is at Daycare Culture Festival. Priorities again. What is a Daycare Culture Festival, Rugby Dad? Does that mean he's like a daycare teacher or something? Or is it because of his kid? Because of his kid. How would Bowden go with the Blues? Oh, man, good question. Hopefully pretty well. I mean, if you're World Player of the Year, you got to hopefully elevate the team, but you got to feel like the problems at the Blues go deeper than just the players. It seems like a culture thing. I don't know. A lot of players seem to go to the Blues and get worse, whereas other players leave the Blues and seem to get better. I wonder if there are children who watch my channel. When I can look at the demographics on YouTube, it seems like the biggest one is like men. That's pretty much all men. It's like 95% men. Between like 25 and 34, I think, is the biggest one. But there is some in that younger demographic as well. So I try to keep things pretty clean. Can I speak some Spanish? I cannot speak Spanish, unfortunately. The only words I've learned from this channel is Vamos Jaguares, and then there's a word which starts with C, which seems to be a swear word in Spanish, which people use to support the Jaguares. So, yeah. Harold is 12. There you go. So I do have people who are less than adult age watching, so good idea for me to keep it clean. All Blacks resting players in the Rugby Championship. I think the Crusaders guys are going to get a break, at least for the start of the comp. I don't think any of them are going to go to Argentina, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Miguel just said that last word. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation, but I know what it means, and I've seen it a lot in the comments. Do I get paid to do this? No, I do not get paid. I mean, YouTube does a little bit of ad revenue, but nah, not getting paid, that's for sure. Almost 16, just a month away. Okay. 16 is an interesting age. I probably was a bit of a annoying 16-year-old, I guess. I don't know. I have to ask my parents. Do I think the All Blacks will win the Rugby World Cup? Well, they have to be the favourites, man. But yeah, Ireland has a good record over them recently. And the fact that they haven't played Wales in quite a long time is also interesting because Wales are in fantastic form. I mean, they went unbeaten pretty much for such a long time. So that would be a big game if they played Wales. Why did I choose the name 2 Cents? Basically, because all the stuff I say on the channel is just my 2 cents. I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about rugby. So that's all it is. Yeah. What I think of the Japan jersey rugby, Dad, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. It's a bit odd. It may grow on me. Sometimes those jerseys do grow on me, but yeah. What did you think of it, Rugby Dad? Do I play rugby? Nah, I do not play rugby. I'm getting a bit old. Body's getting a bit sore. And to be fair, even when I was in school, I mostly played cricket. I played soccer, but I was terrible at soccer. I did play rugby at like lunchtime with some of the boys, and it was fun. But then one of the guys from the first 15 would play with us, and he would just flatten us. So, yeah, very casual, nothing serious. English phrase, 2 cents worth means opinion of limited value. That is exactly why I chose the name 2 Cents Rugby, because it's just some dude on the internet rather than like a former All Black or something. So, yeah. Yep, Iron Man mask to go with the Japan jersey. That makes sense. Quesada is just being interviewed at halftime and basically said the Crusaders had one big opportunity and took it, and they missed their own, which is very true. And if you're going to beat the Crusaders in Christchurch, that's not the way you can go. It's not the way it can go. Why is my favorite team the Blues? Because I was born in Auckland, man. Got no choice but to be a Blues fan. It was pretty good growing up because the Blues had a good rugby team before Super Rugby, and then at the start of Super Rugby, then it kind of just went all downhill. Big Will, hey man, you just finished work again? I'm getting my way through the beer. Slowly but surely. What school did I go to? I went to Onehunga High School. So not the best rugby team. But still, when I played with the first 15 boys, they were far too good for me. So, yeah, stick to cricket. I played cricket. Second half is just about to get underway. It's going to be interesting, guys. I don't think there's any subs as yet, so we will have to wait and see. Crusaders are going to exit here, or they're going to run it again. Nah, that's going to be safe exit, surely. Here we go. Cool. Jaguares are going to have the ball in the Crusaders half. Probably could use a score soon. Good luck, Higueras. Yes, they're going to need a bit of luck. We'll see how they go. What is my job? I work at a university here in Auckland. Just kind of Office job, man. Totally nothing exciting about my job. Nobody in my office even talks about rugby either. So it's kind of good that I got the channel. So I got the banter with you guys because I don't think anybody in my office watches rugby at all. And my office has probably got, I don't know, 25 people. Not one of them watches rugby. Not one. A couple of them watch cricket, a couple of Indian guys, and one white guy. But yep, nobody watches rugby. Benicia. He's not got his kicking boots on today like he did last week. It sounded so sad. Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm in New Zealand and nobody in my office, amongst like 20 plus people, watch rugby. Although, if I was to analyze it, I guess a bit in depth, a lot of my colleagues are not are not New Zealand born and not from countries originally that have a traditional like rugby following. A few people from the Philippines, a few from India. So I guess it's just, not a cultural thing. Into more basketball and cricket. Yeah, you would think everybody in New Zealand's into their rugby, but nah. The good thing about that is I don't have to worry about anybody going, hey, man, I saw you on YouTube. What's up with that? Oh. The Jaguares came very close to scoring a try just then. Orlando's pass. So was that Matera again? Moroni down the wing. He chips it. He regathers, re-tackles him. He offloads. And Orlando just can't take it. Goodhue grabs it. And Goodhue touches it down. I think, Goodhue's definitely carried it back. So the Higueras are going to have a 5-meter scrum. Man, that was close. That's 2 times the Higueras have come very, very close to scoring a try. It's kind of 2 opportunities they've taken neither. I mean, it was hard, but wow. Oh, and the Jaguares have just been free kicked. So their attacking opportunity is gone. Have I been following the Cricket World Cup? I haven't really sat down and watched any games in full. But I've been following the results. You can't not follow the results in the news. The Kiwis came out pretty strong, won a few games, and then they've kind of gone to custard in the last few weeks. They were probably lucky the game against India got rained off because otherwise they might not have made the semis. They only just got in. Very fortunate. Man, I can still hear my daughter's awake. She was supposed to be asleep before the game started. Matera is, the commentator just said Matera is everywhere, and they are right. That guy is everywhere. The Jaguares may have just got away with a forward pass there. So, thoughts on the Springboks for the World Cup? Yeah, man, I need to do a video on this squad, their training camp thing, because, I reckon the Springboks are kind of there or thereabouts. Oh, the Higueras have just knocked it on. They win a bunch of phases and knocked it on. Too many errors, man. Too many errors. Gone to custard. Yep. Is that a saying outside of New Zealand? Gone to custard? something has gone to custard means it's gone to crap, basically. Wow, Christopher is in Brazil. Northeast Brazil, watching the rugby. Good stuff, man. Natural Talent says, what the hell? Jaguares, please. Yeah, man, they're putting the pressure on. Whoa, Bryn Hall had a tackle way around, was that Matera's neck? Nobody picked that up. The Crusaders have had to make 92 tackles to the Jaguares 49, but after 46 minutes, it's still the Crusaders by 7. Man, this is a tight final. Well, scrum penalty for the Crusaders. So at some point, the Higueras might have to look at changing props. Otherwise, the Crusaders will keep doing that all day long. How do I think Ireland will do in the Rugby World Cup? I think Ireland's big problem is the quarterfinal. Traditionally, that's where they go out. And this year, they're either going to face New Zealand or South Africa. And that seems like a pretty tough prospect. But to be fair, Ireland have got a pretty good record against New Zealand and South Africa recently. So if Ireland can get over that quarterfinal bump, which they usually struggle with, I think they could go all the way. I feel like Joe has still got something up his sleeve despite the fact that they didn't do that well in the Six Nations. Ireland will flop, says Jamie. I don't know, man. Like, another thing I noticed was, like, the last 2 World Cups that the All Blacks won, they didn't win the Rugby Championship in 2015. They didn't win the Tri-Nations in 2011. So Ireland didn't win the Six Nations this year. It seems like if you want to save it for the World Cup, that seems to be a winning strategy. I don't know. I don't know if Joe legitimately has secrets up his sleeve, but I believe he does. He's a smart guy. Do I watch the YouTube channel Squidge Rugby? Yes. That guy is hilarious. And pretty insightful as well. Like, he combines insights with comedy, which is not easy to do. Crusaders are attacking the Jaguares. They just got inside their 22. I feel like if the Crusaders can score a try here, I know it's only 50 minutes, but it could be game. Because can you see the Jaguares scoring 2 tries at the moment? Not really. Crusaders have got quick hands, but that Argentinian Jaguares defense is equally quick. Crusaders are 6 phases. 7 phases. They're like 5 meters out from the Jaguares line. 8 phases. They're just trucking it up. 9 phases. 10 phases. And now they've got advantage. They've got to try something with the advantage, surely. Surely. 12 phases. What beer am I drinking? I've never tried this beer before. It's called Red Horse Extra Strong Brew, and it is from San Miguel in the Philippines. Like, it's okay. I preferred last week's beer, the Vailima, the Samoan beer, but I like to try something new. They're going back for the advantage. So 50 minutes, the Crusaders are taking a quick tap. They tried to do a sneaky play. Wow. It looked like Moonga was going to kick for touch, and then he did a quick tap. And all the Crusaders forwards were ready for it, so they just formed like a maul, went over the line, but the ref wasn't in position and didn't get a good view of it. They're going to have to TMO this. That was definitely a planned move, though. The ref has just said he hasn't got a grounding. He thinks he's got a boot under it. So the ref says no try. So there's going to have to be definite evidence of a grounding. Otherwise, it's not going to be a try. Let's have a look. I don't think that camera angle is going to show us much. That's just a bunch of bodies. They've got a side angle. I can't see the ball yet. Oh, there it is. And there looks to be legs under it. Yep, I think the ref has got that right. I don't think that ball's hit the ground. I think it's going to be held up. That isn't a try. Yeah, given that the ref has said on-field decision is no try, I don't think they can give that, even though it's a New Zealand TMO. If that is a try, the game is over. I agree. If the Crusaders get 14 points up here, even though there's 30 minutes to go, the way this game has been going, you can't see the Higueras scoring 3 times to get in front. It's 51 minutes, pretty much 52. Right, no try. TMO is called no try, but it's going to be a scrum to the Crusaders like 5 meters out. So Crusaders are bringing on some subs. So Mitch Drummond's coming on and Talfua's coming on. This has been a slow game. Yeah, kind of. Chances for Scotland at the World Cup. Well, it's interesting. I think it was Squid Rugby that mentioned it, that the fact that Japan have, I guess, as hosts, kind of timed their schedule to make it that I think the last game of the pool is Scotland against Japan. So Japan are targeting that game to knock Scotland out. But if Scotland do make it through again, quarterfinal against New Zealand or South Africa, it's going to be tough. Scotland away from home is not their strongest strength. So, yeah. 5-meter scrum, the Crusaders were starting to monster the Jaguares. Their front row came up, and it is a penalty to the Crusaders. You got to feel like they're going to go another scrum. Or is he going to go points? I think I just saw Sam Whitelock point to the sticks. Yep. They're going to point to the sticks. Okay. Fair enough. I'm not even going to wait for him to kick it because it's straight out in front. I kind of feel like that's a let-off for the Jaguares because if the Crusaders scored a try there, I really think it's done. But just means the Jaguares have got to score twice, which was the same as before anyway. Someone report the spam. Yeah, okay, I'll get rid of it, bro. Boom. There you go. Done. I don't have any moderators, so sorry, but I just got rid of it. My daughter, I doubt it's being picked up on the microphone. She is crying like crazy. She is definitely a Juarez fan. Scotland absolutely robbed by the Aussies at the last World Cup. Yeah. I think that one was Like, as much as I don't like to talk about the refs at the end of a game, and I don't like to blame the refs, like that one was pretty bad. Right. I think the Jaguares have just brought their replacement props on, which will hopefully give the ref a bit of a different picture at scrum time, maybe make things a bit more even, but we will see. Jaguares really need to score soon. They've got the ball and they are at the 10-meter line, so we'll see if they can do anything here. Time now is 55 minutes. 13-3 up. Juarez have got the ball, 10-meter line in the Crusaders half. So they are on the attack, 6 phases, 7 phases. But the Crusaders defense is looking pretty sturdy. The Jaguares aren't really making any ground. So they kick, and it's straight to the Crusaders. Man, I think the Higueras may need to bring Miotti on because, like last week, Benicia just had the ball on a string where he wanted to put the ball, he put the ball. But this week he's struggling. That's like his 3rd or 4th poor kick. That's just gifting the ball back to the Crusaders. So you can't do that. Whoa. Bridge just charged down a Jaguares clearance kick at the Jaguares 22. It bounced off Bridge, so it's in touch. It's going to be a Jaguares line out, but they're on their own 22, so they're under pressure. Man, everyone's asking for the time. Yeah, 56 minutes. What if the camera changes to the commentary box and we see this video on one of the laptops? That would be funny, but yeah, nah. They're watching the game. Franks is going off. Jaguares have made another sub as well. I think it was the other prop. My daughter is still going gangbusters crying. She is going crazy. She must be really upset the Jaguares are not winning. I know it's still early, 56 minutes. At this point, I think the Jaguares might be done. They're just making too many errors in the second half, and the Crusaders are starting to look pretty sharp. And now they've got advantage, the Crusaders. They are mauling it up to the Jaguares 22, up and under. No, Crusaders are going to have a penalty. If you're cheering for the Blues, why are you watching the final? Bro, I watch all the games, man. I watch pretty much all the Super Rugby I can watch. Sometimes, like I think last year, before I had 2 kids, it was easier to watch the South African games. I admit this season I've been a bit slack in watching some of the games over in South Africa. It's been kind of hard to get up in the middle of the night. Does my family like to watch the rugby? My dad is a big rugby nut. That's probably where I get it from. Yeah, he is well into his rugby. Although watching rugby with him is kind of entertaining because he's about as one-eyed as it gets. So everything the opposition does is offside, and you can't he can't look a game down the middle. He's pretty much one-eyed. So, yeah. Where is Enor best suited in the back line? I think he likes 13, right? Moanga just kicked the penalty. It's not a classic, this game, but the Crusaders are doing what they do. Yeah. "59 minutes. The Jaguares absolutely need to be the next team to score, and it probably needs to be soon." Like, if this situation was reversed, if it was the Jaguares up 16-3, I think it would be fantastic watching the Crusaders try to chase them down, and I think they might be able to do it. But the Jaguares, with the travel, trying to chase down the Crusaders from 16-3 down, I think is going to be really tough. I can't see the Jaguares winning it from here. I did put money on the Crusaders to win it at the start of the season. So either way, if the Jaguares can manage a comeback, I'll be happy for them. If the Crusaders get a win, I will win a few dollars. Win-win. Yeah, it is 60 minutes. So 20 minutes to go. 19 and a half, really. The Higueras had about 7 phases, and then they knocked it on. How much do you get on the Crusaders at the start of the season? $3? I don't actually remember. More than you do now, anyway. More subs coming on. I think Romano's coming on. Yep. 61 minutes. It's another scrum. Had a lot of scrums in this game. Maybe we'll get to see some mean breakdancing at the end of the game. The chance of breakdancing right now, pretty high. Benicia has gone off as well for the Jaguares. I think that's a good move because as good as he was last week, and he's been pretty good throughout the season, he's not played that well tonight. Oh, yep. Jaguares got a penalty back in their own half. They're going to have to kick for touch and hopefully score from a line-out move. I don't know, but Crusaders penalized for offside, so we'll see what happens. Oh, Spam guy's back. Boom. Done. Akira Ioane wasn't picked for the All Blacks squad. Yeah, they seem to reckon he's not fit enough, and I've heard previously that they've got problems with his attitude. I think once Kieran Reid goes, there's going to be more of a spot for him, but yeah, he does pretty well for the Blues. Oh, he is a fiery customer, so I don't know. Right, Jaguares are in the Crusaders 22. It's 63 minutes. They just knocked it on. They just knocked it on. I was about to say they need a score. Yeah. How many Juarez are there in Super Rugby? Yeah, too many. Lucky Digby's not here anymore. Jaguares are definitely not kicking the ball as much as they were because they're chasing the game. But that means they have to play the way that they've not been playing all season. So that's kind of where the Crusaders want you. They want you chasing the game. They want you coughing up the ball in your own half. They want you making mistakes, and then they'll punish you. It's going to be a line out. I hate to do this, guys, but something about this beer is gone straight through me. So I'm going to be back in just a tick. Hopefully I don't fall over. Hopefully I don't miss too much. What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Anything? Knock on. Yeah, no, that's pretty bad. I was looking at the clock and I was like, nah, I can't wait 15 minutes. Live stream and everything. Was not going to happen. Something about this Filipino beer. Scrum for the Jaguares. Okay. They just got the ball out. Jaguares have got a line out like 6 or 7 meters away, so they're still in with a chance, but there's only 14 minutes to go. They need to do something. Jaguares have won the line out. They're mauling it up. It's getting some meters. And now it's stopped. To the backs. Jaguares have to score here. 67 minutes. And they threw the ball to the ground. But did he knock it on? We're going to have another scrum. Another scrum. Yeah, Kubeli has been replaced as Kura is on. Again, he probably didn't have his best game. They saved it for the Brumbies, it would seem. Higueras are choking. Yeah, it's hard when you have to chase the game against the Crusaders and you have to play in a way which maybe you wouldn't normally. It's tough. Another scrum. Yes. That has been the story of the night. A Super Rugby game which has been all about scrums. Oh. The Jaguares just went close. Miotti chip kicks it over. And it just goes dead before Moroni can get to it. Man. If that in-goal area was about a meter or two bigger, that could have been a try. Man. Yep. Still 16-3. But the Higueras have had that was a half chance, and they've had at least one proper chance and another pretty good chance. So you got to take your chances against the Crusaders. Just over 10 minutes to go. Yep, the Crusaders have gotten another maul turnover, so that's it. Remember how 10 minutes ago I said my daughter was crying like crazy? She's still going, and it's louder. Can you actually hear it? It's loud. Maybe at full time she'll chill. Yeah, 69 minutes and 30 seconds. So there's still time to score 2 tries converted, but when you're on 3 points, Crusaders just need to see out the next 10 minutes and they will have it done. You can't see them losing it from here, really. It would be a hell of a win if they could get it back, but no. You can't see it at all. Jaguares are on their own 22 and they need to run it, so we'll see what they can do. Any chance of a miracle? Some people said they might have played their game, their final last week against the Brumbies. They might be right. Because a few things they needed to do right just have not gone their way this week. Crusaders have got the ball in their own half, taking it nice and slow. 71 minutes. Jaguares have knocked it on. I don't know how many knock-ons there have been in this game, but it's way too many. Way, way too many. You'd have to say the Chiefs Jaguares game from Argentina and the Hurricanes Crusaders game last week had a fair bit more entertainment than this one as a final, to be honest. It is not one that is going to go down as a classic unless something crazy happens in the next 8 minutes. Yeah, I don't know how many knock-ons it is, but it's a lot. Maybe I can have a quick look. See if ESPN's got it updated. They're like a minute behind, but they say like 15 to the Crusaders. God damn, I don't know. It's a lot. Not all those turnovers will be knock-ons. Will Jordan's come on for the Crusaders. Do I know Gareth Mason? Yeah, man, Gareth's awesome. Gareth is a passionate dude for his rugby. He does amazing stuff. He's supported this channel as well, so very cool guy. Crusaders scrum all over the Jaguares there. They've just won a penalty. Yeah, man, this game is pretty much done. 73 minutes. Disappointed with this game. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the final does not live up to the expectations. This is probably going to be one of those finals. As I said, both teams have played a really good game in the lead up to this game, but yeah, this game has been a bit of an ordinary one. I mean, it's not over. There's still 6 minutes, but it doesn't look like much is going to happen here. The Crusaders are lining up a penalty to take it to 19-3, which would make it, 3 scores for the Jaguares? Mo'unga is lining up his kick. Going to take his time, of course. There he goes. Has he got it? He nailed it. What the commentator said, he's nailed it. I think that's the nail in the coffin. I think that's game. $19 points to 3, 5.5 minutes left. Can't see it happening here. Although the Higueras won the kickoff, so they need to score right now. 3 scores needed, and the Crusaders have got the ball. Although the Crusaders got charged down. What's loose? Very loose. How many titles is that going to be for the Crusaders? I think this is number 10. Number 10. Can you believe that? It's amazing. 3 in a row. 3-peat. Time, please. It's not on the screen at the moment. I think it's like 4 minutes left. 4 minutes, 3 scores needed. So, Yep, 75 minutes and 28 seconds. 19 points to 3 to the Crusaders. Crusaders are in their own half, but they are still well in control. Crusaders are just hanging on to the ball. There's no need for them to give it back to the Jaguares here. They're just going to close this game out. Cancellieri is on for the Jaguares. Not going to have much time to do much. The Higueras are just having to pass everything now. Just like offload, offload, offload. They've won a penalty. 76 minutes and 36 seconds. Back-to-back champions. It is going to be. We are going to see some breakdancing. They had their chances, the Jaguares, man. Like 3 potential try-scoring chances, none of them taken. They're going to look back on that with some regret. You go to Christchurch, you get a half chance, you got to take it. You got to take it. I wonder if Mo'unga will get man of the match for all his penalties and his conversion. Quite possibly. It'll either be Moonga or possibly Taylor for his try. Jaguares are running it from their own 10-meter line. They kick it, and the Crusaders field it. Yep. Nothing's going to happen here, guys. This is it. There's going to be no miracle. The Crusaders are just going to kill this game down. They're just so good in Christchurch, man. I mean, this game has not been pretty by anyone's standards. The first half was when the Higueras needed to get it done, and they didn't. Crusaders have just been too good in the second half. I mean, I guess at least the ref isn't the main talking point, so that's a good thing. The Higueras scrum held up for the most part better than it was kind of predicted to. It still got penalised a wee bit. But, yeah. Minute and a half to go. Not been pretty. So many fabulous scrums. Yes, fabulous, fabulous scrums. This is a game for the purists. One try, some penalties. If you like scrums and goal kickings, if you like scrums and watching penalty kicks, this is the final for you. Yeah, probably not a great one for the neutrals. Not a great one for the Argentinian fans who got up in the middle of the night to watch this. I mean, I guess it's a final. Like, my Blues can't even make the playoffs, let alone the finals. So, but yeah, good one for the Crusaders. They've just done what they do, man. They're a hard team to beat. Greetings from Panama. Wow, Panama as well. Very cool. People from literally all over the world. Do I think Bowden Barrett would play better at the Crusaders? Pretty much everybody looks better at the Crusaders, right? They just elevate players. That's what they do. It's 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. It's 80 minutes. There goes the hooter. The Crusaders have won a penalty right at the death. They are celebrating. Whoever it is going to have to kick it into touch. I mean, all you got to say is congratulations to the Crusaders. They are a class team. I would have liked to see the Jaguares win it, but they didn't take their chances, and the Crusaders are just too good, man. Very, very good team. Congratulations to those guys. That's 3 wins in 3 years, which is amazing. Scott Robertson's a fantastic coach. They just keep on doing what they're doing, man. As much as I didn't want them to win, you got to respect them for what they do, man. Like, class team. Class. Good on the Jaguares for making the final, but Crusaders are just too good. Three-peat is on. Good job, Crusaders. Very well done. Just too good, man. Just too good. Other teams just need to elevate because the Crusaders are still just a cut above. All right, guys. I think I'm going to go check on my daughter because she is still crying like mad. I have to tell her as a 1-year-old that the Jaguares weren't able to get it done. But, yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I'm sorry I had to pop out for a minute there. That Filipino beer, oh my Lord, Red Horse. That's some potent stuff. But, yeah, you guys take care. I'll review the game tomorrow. I'll have a look at some of the stats, see how the game went down. As I said, it probably wasn't a classic. It's not going to go down in any highlights videos, but still a bit of an entertaining watch. Yeah, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time. See you later.